Councilman John Norman has joined us. Hello to you, Councilman Norman. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Hello.
You'll take yourself off of mute. There you go. We'll start off with Mr. John Norman is running for re-election as the District 2 representative. And we wanted to make sure that he had an opportunity to address us and speak. And so if you'll take a few moments and give us an opening statement and just let us know a little bit more about yourself and your goals for re-election or for a second term.
Yeah, so my name is Councilman John Norman, District 2. I actually became a councilman close to 2 years ago, but it was a 1.5 year term following the gentleman that was just on, John Love. He left to run for senator, so I decided to run for city council, and I won. This year I was up for re-election to hopefully have the opportunity to serve a full term, and you know, no one ran against me, so that automatically makes me the winner with 1 vote. I think I'll vote for myself, but I look forward to you know, being on the council and serving the council, serving as a council, serving the constituents as a council member. You know, it's a huge learning curve. I think a lot of people don't understand. It's a huge learning curve, and to be in there for the short period of time and, you know, get some of the things done that we've been able to accomplish, I think is a good thing. But I look forward to serving another or 3 years, a full term, and you know, continue with the work that we're doing, and you know, getting some things done for District 2.
Good deal. All right, Mr. Norman, we sent you a list of questions, and so I will start with asking you one of these first questions here. So often, and let me preface the question, so often we find that people, once they get into elected officials, they spend more time promoting their own business rather than doing the work for the city. So in your opinion, to you, what is the difference between personal business and community service?
Well, it's a huge difference. Personal business is exactly what it is. You know, it's personal. You know, it could range from anything of, you know, how you take care of your family, things of that nature. You know, as a city council person, we don't get paid to be a city council person. We do, but it's $25 a month. A lot of people don't know that. $25 a month, $23 after taxes. So it really is a servitude. We're answering calls, answering emails, just answering different concerns from the community, and in particular your district that you reside in. So I think it's different, but it can be the same, because depending on what type of business it is that you have personally, and depending on how you run your business, you know, there's a lot of people that have a business, a personal business, but they operate to serve, which is what you do on the city council as well. So it is different, as in that, you know, this is how you take care of your family. This is how you, you know, feed your family and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, you know, it can be the same. It depends on how you run your business.
Just before you came on, Mr. Love was speaking about the road bond that voters supported in 2017. So my next question, the city has delayed the execution of the road bond that voters supported in 2017. How do you feel about the city not following the voting mandate of its citizens?
Yeah, well, and I'm not totally positive that's totally accurate. They may have slowed it, but I'm not sure that they just completely stopped it. And to be honest with you, a lot of the work that's being done on the east side and south side of Midland is a lot of road work being done. And so I don't know if it's part of that bond project or if it's not a part of it. But I mean, there's been a lot of road work being done, and it's still being done to this day. So I would have to look into it and see, you know, if it is actually a part of what that road bond consisted of. Because one thing that I've learned is that, you know, when you have these road bonds or you have these monies allocated to different projects, you know, it could be projects, you know, not in our district or, you know, in another district. But the key to it is trying to get the projects in the district that you reside. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Good deal. Very good deal. My final prepared question, the city of Midland is in a lot different place at this time now than we were a month ago in regards to COVID-19. A month ago, our city was at about a 36% vaccination rate, and now we're up to about a 50% vaccination rate, but it takes about 70% to reach herd immunity. That said, and this is an interesting, you know, question and perspective because you are on the city council. I will ask you, what do you think is the city council's role, if any, in fighting COVID-19?
Well, I guess my thoughts on it personally, I think we do have a duty to serve the constituents. Therefore, anything that's what's the word for it? Anything that's detrimental to the city or anything that affects the city as a whole, I think we should have a role in it. You know, whether we may be right, whether we may be wrong, you know, I think we should, you know, speak on how we feel about a certain situation, and, you know, and just stand on what we believe, and then also, you know, what our community wants. You know, that's one thing that I've learned is, you know, being on the council, yes, we listen to our constituents. We listen to, I mean, they're the ones that voted us in, you know, but on some points, you know, I mean, you have your own personal feelings about it. So, I don't know, man. I think the council does have a slight role to play, but, you know, I think everyone has their own opinions about it as well.
Good. All right. The next question, the next set of questions will come from our executive council. They're the questions that you were not sent and have not been necessarily prepared for. And we'll have that first question come from our chairman, Mr. Love. You're on mute. Still muted.
I'm sorry, I thought I unmuted myself. Apologize. Councilman Norman, thank you for joining us. How do you feel about zero tolerance of abuse of citizens by police, and how do you think a police advisory board would help?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm totally for zero abuse of our citizens from police, which is why and then just following up on that with the police advisory board, that's one of the things that I created, you know, once I got on council, was a police advisory committee. We've had a couple of meetings. However, you know, with COVID and everything like that, you know, we weren't able to meet as often as I would like. But we will, and you know, that's a part of me being accountable as well. But we will be meeting more often. Actually, starting next month, we'll be having a meeting, and you know, we'd like to get them in every quarter, to where we could, you know, it's not a committee that's put together to tell the police what to do, but it's in an advisory role to advise the police on a lot of things that could be done better. So that's one of the things that I've created since I've been in office. And you know, I have to do a better job of getting us together and getting out there and getting more active. We've had, like I said, we've had a couple of meetings to where it was introductory meetings and not really a lot being done. But we need to be more active in getting something done.
Good deal. And our final question of the evening, I'll go to you, Mr. Rav. Unmute yourself, and the floor is yours.
Good evening, Mr. Norman. I have a question here. What are your ideas to improve the quality of life for Midlanders, especially those in the African American community?
To improve the quality of life?
Yes. What are your ideas to improve the quality of life for Midlanders, specifically those in the African American community?
Yeah. Well, there are several things that we're doing to improve the quality of life. One of the things that I know a lot of people may be tired of hearing about, but our parks and rec, we're building those things up and being more intentional about keeping our parks and rec up. Because that is a part of the quality of life, not only for young people, but for our elders who want to go to the park but should have shade and things of that nature. Another thing that I'm focusing on is getting more development in District 2. Getting more. It's what I talked about when I was when I first ran on my campaign was economic opportunity zones. I believe if we, by incentivizing certain areas in District 2, developers will be more apt to want to develop in District 2. And, you know, by bringing more development over here, it creates jobs and naturally creates roads and things of that nature in those areas. So that's one of the things I'm still working on. And we'll continue to work on.
Good deal. Well, Mr. Norman, that concludes all of our questions for you. Again, you know, you are running unopposed, but we still wanted to have an opportunity for you to speak to us and talk about your goals for your next term. Not only for us to hear that, but for something that you said, which is important, accountability. You know, it's important for us as your electorate to be able to say, Mr. Norman, you say you're going to do this. Where are we? So, you know, we wanted an opportunity to hear those things from you and have you speak to those things. Before we wrap up, do you have any final statements for us?
No, I don't. The only thing I will say is I appreciate you having me on. I apologize I couldn't be on the last meeting, but I'm glad I made it to this one. And you know, like I've always said, you know, I try to be a councilman of the people, like which I'm sure everyone that gets on council tries to be. And you know, I'm easily accessible. My email address and my phone number is out there. And if there are any problems or concerns or anything of that nature that anyone has, you know, I'm more than happy to answer those concerns. It may not be the answer you like, but you know, I'll get an answer.
There you go. That's right. All right. Well, Mr. Norman, again, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us this evening. And we wish you all the best in your campaign, which you don't really have to campaign, but we wish you the best in your second term. And we definitely know that that we here at the Midland County Chapter of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats support you. And we look forward to a very productive second term.
Again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye. And that concludes our interview with Mr. John Norman.